The Champions League round of 16 draw took place today and one of the most even round of 16 draws I've seen in the recent past. No real uneven matchups here. All teams seem to have a chance to go to the quarterfinals. I'm gonna give my predictions on which team I think is gonna win the tie. So let's kick it off with the first draw, which was RB Leipzig and Manchester City. Now this is probably the one matchup that is a little bit uneven. Manchester City are unquestionably the favorites to win the Champions League. If you look at the betting favorites, they are number one at plus 150. And at the same time, RB Leipzig has not had the best start to their season. They started unevenly. October and November, they've sort of picked up. But even right now, I believe they sit in 6th place in the Bundesliga, whereas the favorites, Manchester City, top their group, are fighting for the Premier League title. Both of these teams have money. Both of these teams like to throw money at their problems. So this is somewhat of a financially even matchup. Now between these two teams, Manchester City are my favorites to win the entire tournament. So I'm gonna have to put them through. But at the same time, RB Leipzig is not a team to sleep on. They beat Real Madrid in the group stage 3-2. So the first leg, I believe in Germany, anything can really happen, but Man City are my favorites. Club Brugge versus Benfica, now another tie that is a relatively even contest. A lot of people would have expected Atletico Madrid to come out of that group. They've had a torrid season in the Champions League. Club Brugge has been performing really well this season. They lost Charles de Ketelaar, their main central attacking midfielder, Charles de Ketelaar, to AC Milan, but in return they got Ferran Jutgla from Barcelona. That guy's been playing lights out. Club Brugge is in good form. At the same time, Benfica, they were not expected to top their group. PSG was expected to be in first place, but on the final match day, they got the first spot based on goal difference, and by some measure, you could say that Benfica, by finishing first, got a much easier tie than they would have if they'd finished second. In my predictions during the group stage, I did not pick Club Brugge, I picked Atletico Madrid, so I already faulted there. I don't know if I should be betting against them again this time around, but guys, my favorite would have to be Benfica. In spite of losing their star player Darwin Núñez, they have been in sublime form this season, sitting at top of the table, I think an 8-point lead on Porto. Liverpool, Real Madrid, a rematch in the first round from the Champions League final 2022. And now before I jump into the next group, guys, a shout out to today's sponsors, OneFootball. The OneFootball app is your one-stop shop for all things football, with the Champions League round of 16 being drawn out, the World Cup upcoming. This is the one app you must have on your phones. The OneFootball app has highlights from multiple top European leagues. They cover content from over 150 different leagues in 16 different languages. So if you want to become one of those annoying people who knows all things about football, this is the one app you should have, and that is the OneFootball app. So if you haven't already, again, click the link in the description and download the OneFootball app. And the final of 2019, infamous match where Loris Karius made all those mistakes. Guys, Liverpool cannot dodge Real Madrid, and this time around, it's come pretty quick. Liverpool have had a hot and cold season in the Premier League. They've been a lot better side in the Champions League. At the same time, Real Madrid are looking pretty good in the league, but this is a relatively even matchup. We have to see what moves these teams make in January if Liverpool finds any more reinforcements. But seeing the way these teams are right now, I think you'd have to give it to Real Madrid. But if there's any point of time that Liverpool can get their revenge, it's probably now. It's a low pressure situation. They've already lost twice in the Champions League final to them. Real Madrid would be going into this matchup as favorites. And if Jurgen Klopp can bring their season back on track, I can see Liverpool upsetting Madrid. All right, AC Milan is going to play. Thank you, whoever pointed out the sound is off. Milan plays Tottenham. This was the draw we wanted. Now, before I move on to the next group, and if you guys are new here and you like this video, please click the subscribe button and see maybe if you want to like this video. It helps push the channel out to more people. Which brings us to Milan versus Tottenham. The last time these teams faced each other, this is what happened. Now, after Milan beat Salzburg 4-0 and they ended up getting into the round of 16 after 8 years of absence, the fans were going through the teams. Which one would be the most ideal matchup for Milan? And I'll be honest, the two picks that everyone made were Porto and Tottenham. And considering how difficult Milan's Champions League group stage was last season, when they played pretty much in a group of death, this time around, they had a little bit of an easier group stage, and their round of 16 matchup, guys, this is pretty favorable. Now, I would think that Tottenham would look at this matchup and say the exact same thing. I think both teams fan bases believe that they can beat each other, especially having seen what happened with Milan going to Chelsea. Now, the one thing that I can let Tottenham fans know right now if you're watching, guys, that wasn't AC Milan. Milan was missing 4 starters, our main goalkeeper, bunch of our attackers, left back and Theo Hernandez. And in the second leg, Fikayo Tomori got red carded in the 20th minute, so it was a fairly uneven game. But if you want to sleep on Milan because of those results, be my guest. Because if the Rossoneri are fit, I can see just this Milan side, without any new reinforcements in January, beating Tottenham. Antonio Conte's management style is something that Stefano Pioli has been exposed to for years, and the Spurs aren't really hitting good form, at least right now. So for both of these teams, I think they look at each other and say, we can beat you. For me, obviously, my pick is AC Milan. Roundup. Frankfurt plays Napoli.
Napoli will be happy with this.
Now, Eintracht Frankfurt versus Napoli is an interesting matchup because on paper, for some fans who don't watch Serie A that much, they might look at it and say that this is an even matchup. To me, it really isn't. There's no disrespect to Eintracht Frankfurt. They're a very good team. They won the Europa League last season. They're a dangerous side, and they didn't have a very easy group. It all came down to the final couple of match days for them to be able to get out of it. But Napoli, guys, is on a different form right now. I have been watching Serie A for 15 years now. I've never seen a Napoli side like this. They're solid in attack. They're good in defense. They are mitigating the challenging games. They seem to have a different energy to them, and that's going to be pretty dangerous for Eintracht Frankfurt, where their attacker and Kavica Kvaratskhelia and the form that they had in the group stage to dispatch Liverpool the way that they did. Napoli, up until now in the season, has been unbeaten. They were unbeaten in the Champions League until Liverpool beat them in the last match day. So for this matchup, it's a no-brainer for me. It has to be Napoli who goes through.
Dortmund plays Chelsea. All right, that's a tricky draw for Chelsea.
Borussia Dortmund versus Chelsea is an interesting matchup. I think Chelsea fans are going to be looking at this draw and saying they could have gotten someone easier, but they didn't. At this point in time, based on Chelsea's current form, look, when they played Milan in the group stage and they won 5-0 over 2 legs, that was just the energy of a new coach. They played a depleted AC Milan side, and they played the Wolves side that had no coach. And based on those 3 matches, they thought they were winning everything. And now when reality setting in, things are unraveling. In the last 4 games, I think Chelsea's failed to register a single win. It's hard to say what's gonna happen in February, but based on their current form and based on Dortmund's current form too, I'm gonna pick Borussia Dortmund to go through. Now, obviously, who knows what kind of reinforcements they're gonna make? Who knows? Maybe they'll pick up Rafael in January. And based on the injury issues they've had, a little bit of an age showing in their team, and having a new coach, at this point in time, they're not clicking, so I'm putting Dortmund through. Inter versus Porto. Now, this is one of those teams, when the group stage was over, Milan fans are looking at Porto and Tottenham as one of the options. Now, both of those clubs are coming to Milan. Of all the first place sides they could have gotten, this is one of the easier ones. So all 3 Serie A sides, AC Milan, Napoli, and Inter, I think all 3 have winnable games. So let me know in the comment section, do you guys think all 3 Italian teams are going to the quarterfinals? So between Inter and Porto are one of the best managed sides in all of European football. And at this point in time, Inter have some hot and cold feelings about their form. They lost to Juventus 2-0 after going through a run of good form. Once again, questions being asked to their manager. So this one is a pretty even matchup. Inter also have a bad habit of dropping points against the bigger teams, at least in the Serie A. But at this point in time, looking at this matchup, something just tells me, this is just a voice from inside, guys, I think Inter is gonna go through. But this matchup might be one of the most even games in the round of 16.
PSG plays, who's left? What am I missing here? Let's go. Let's go Bayern. Let's go Bayern. Let's go Bayern. That's a matchup.
Which brings us to the grand finale of PSG versus Bayern. I mean, PSG will be killing themselves for not taking first place in the final match day, for not scoring more goals, a better goal difference. And the way that they've gotten punished, it's incredible. At the beginning of the season, I know PSG's hierarchy said that they want to be more humble, they want to be a better team, they want to be more of a unit. And then they go on and pay Kylian Mbappe millions and millions of euros, along with a controlling stake basically in the future of the club. Now, I'm an AC Milan guy, and PSG for a long time was managed by Leonardo, and a lot of people would rave about the moves that he was making, and to me, I just don't think they were that great. Guys, he was playing FIFA 23 in real life. All those moves that he made, bringing Donnarumma, bringing Hakimi, Kylian Mbappe, Messi, Neymar, I would have made those moves. There was nothing special about those moves. If you really want to see scouting, if you really want to see a good quality technical director, look at Paolo Maldini. A limited budget, superstars being hungry for more money, he lets them go, replaces them with much better players, and wins the Serie A title after 11 years with, once again, a small budget, a higher reliance on scouting, a high relying on getting the right coach, and trusting their young players to get the job done. That's what being a technical director is, not just throwing money on your problems. PSG did that, and it looks like one more time it may be a season where they don't win the Champions League. Because at this point in time, guys, Bayern Munich are the second favorites to win it all. The betting favorites put Man City first, Bayern second. And for me, as a neutral with no stake in the game except for Donnarumma, I would be happy to see Bayern kick out PSG. PSG is a bunch of individual stars playing in arguably the weakest league in top European football, and that's gonna be my prediction. Bayern are a much better unit. But here's what I'll say to give PSG fans something. If PSG manages to pull off a win against Bayern Munich, I think they might win the tournament. Because that is a move that'll give them so much confidence and so much belief, because Bayern are the top side, that it could really put the wind on their back and take them all the way to the finals. There you have it, guys. Those are my predictions for the round of 16. If you haven't already checked my reaction to my predictions from the group stage, I was surprisingly accurate. And thank you for watching. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you can watch the Football Corner videos as soon as I upload them. This is now the Football Corner. It used to be the Milan Corner. I will always make AC Milan content, but I would love to make content about other football teams. And for the Milan viewers, as always, guys, Forza Milan, grazie mille e ciao tutti!